Hello everyone, welcome to Dr. Raul's Medicine. Now in this video, we shall talk about the aortic stenosis, one of the valvular heart disease. Okay, and at the end of the video, we'll talk about some important point in the form of the summary table. Okay, so let's start with the aortic stenosis. And before starting, we'll see some basic point. So the aortic valve, the surface area of the aortic valve is approximately 3 square centimeter. Okay, it is surface area of the aortic valve, and the aortic valve is actually a 3 valve cusp. Okay, it is a 3 valve cusp. Okay, now let's see what are the cause of the aortic stenosis. The first cause is the age. As the age advances, there will be a increased atherosclerosis, and there will also be a calcification of the valve. Now what this atherosclerosis and calcification will do, it will cause the narrowing of the orifice of the aortic valve, okay, which further in the few years or in 10-15 years will lead to the aortic stenosis. Okay, so we can say age is the most important risk factor here. Second risk factor or the cause can be a rheumatic fever. It can be a rheumatic fever. Now what this rheumatic fever will do, it will cause the scarring. It will cause the scarring of the valve. Okay, the third cause is the radiation. And if there is a prolonged exposure to the radiation, it will lead to fibrosis of the valve. And the fourth cause, which is seen mostly in case children, it is the if the child is present with the Turner syndrome. So what will happen if the child is present with Turner syndrome? He or she will have the bicuspid aortic valve. Okay, so these are the causes of the aortic stenosis. Now let's see what will be the clinical feature. So the first clinical feature that can be, it can be a syncope. The patient may have chest pain. Okay, and the patient may have the dyspnea. Now why there is dyspnea in case of the aortic stenosis? Let's see here. Now I am drawing here a line diagram of the heart, where here you can see the right atrium, left atrium. Here it is the right ventricle and it is left ventricle. Okay, and here it is an aortic orifice from which the blood will go out. Okay, and there is one vessel which is called as the pulmonary vessel. This pulmonary vessels will drain the blood into the left atrium from the lung. Okay, now why there is dyspnea? As this orifice size will decrease due to atherosclerosis or the calcification. Okay, so what will happen? There will be more blood accumulation in the left ventricles, which lead to the hypertrophy of the left ventricle, and this hypertrophy of the left ventricle will put a more pressure on the left atrium. And this left atrium will cause more pressure in the pulmonary vessels, which lead to the pulmonary congestion, and which finally lead to the dyspnea. Okay, so why there is dyspnea? There will be a left ventricular hypertrophy because of the aortic stenosis. It will cause a pressure. Pressure in the left atrium, and pressure in the left atrium will lead to the increasing of pressure in the pulmonary vessels. Okay, and it finally lead to the dyspnea. Now let's see on examination what we will find. The first thing that we will check is the pulse. Now there is one characteristic pulse that can be found in aortic stenosis. It is called as the pulsus parvus et tardus. Okay, what does this mean? It means they will be in the slow rise with late peak, slow rise with the late peak of the pulse. Now second thing that we can observe on examination will be a carotid thrill. There can be a carotid thrill. The third thing, that if we auscultate this person, so what is the finding in the auscultation? So on the auscultations there will be a narrow split of the S2 heart sound, narrow split of S2 heart sound. Now why there is narrow split of heart sound, second heart sound? Now normally the second heart sound is because of the closure of the aortic and the pulmonary valve. Okay, but in case of aortic stenosis, this aortic valve will close a bit later, but the pulmonary valve will close on the time. So what will happen? There will be a paradoxical shift. The pulmonary valve will close first and the aortic valve will close later in case of the aortic stenosis. Okay, and sometimes we can also find the S4 heart sound. We can also find the S4 heart sound in case of the aortic stenosis. Okay, now let's see what kind of murmur we can observe in case of aortic stenosis. So the characteristic murmur we observe is called as the ejection systolic murmur. Is called as the ejection systolic murmur. So the murmur is the ejection systolic murmur. Okay, and this ejection systolic murmur is also called as the crescendo decrescendo murmur. Crescendo decrescendo murmur. So this is a characteristic murmur that we will observe in case of the aortic stenosis. Okay, now let's move to the diagnosis part. How we will diagnose this condition? So for diagnosis we can do the echo, and what the echo will show? The echo will show the left ventricular hypertrophy. Second, we can perform the X-ray of the chest, and X-ray of the chest will show the cardiomegaly. Okay, we can perform CT scan of the chest. Okay, and we can also perform the angiography. To see if there is any kind of atherosclerosis in the carotid artery or any artery, which can tell us about the blockage or any kind of the calcification in the aortic valve. Also because if the atherosclerosis is present in the any kind of vessels, means the patient may have calcification in the valve also. Now let's see the next investigation, which is the ECG. Now in the aortic stenosis we actually look for the two leads. This is the V1 lead and we will look for the V6 lead. These are the two leads we will look for. Okay, now actually what happened in the aortic stenosis? In the aortic stenosis there will be a left ventricular hypertrophy. So the whatever ECG changes we will observe in the left ventricular hypertrophy, the same changes we will see in case of aortic stenosis. Okay, so what we will find in the V1, there will be a prominent S wave. Prominent S wave, as you can observe, you can appreciate the prominent S wave, and we can also see the prominent R wave in the V6. Okay, so we also see the prominent R wave in the V6. Okay, now if we sum, now actually what happened, one large box is equal to 5 mm. Okay, so if we sum, if we make a plus of the S wave in the V1 and the R wave in the V6, if its value is more than 35, if its value is more than 35, it leads to a diagnosis of the left ventricular hypertrophy. Okay, so we'll count the number of large boxes in the S wave of the V1, and we'll count the number of large boxes in the R wave of the V6, and we'll sum this value, and we'll see if the value is more than 35 or less than 35. So it is a criteria for diagnosis of left ventricular hypertrophy or the aortic stenosis in case of the ECG. Okay, now let's see what will be a treatment part. Now in the treatment part, what we can do, first of all, we can control the atherosclerosis. Now the atherosclerosis can be controlled by statins. We can give the statin to the patient. Second, as there will be atherosclerosis, the patient may have the hypertension. To control the BP or the hypertension, we will give ACE inhibitor AC inhibitor plus beta blocker combination, okay, to control the blood pressure. But if the patient is having a severe aortic stenosis, so what we will do in case of severe aortic stenosis, we will do the transcatheter aortic valve replacement, okay. So this will be a treatment in case of the severe aortic stenosis, and definition of severe aortic stenosis will be if the size or the orifice size is less than 1 square centimeter. It is termed as severe aortic stenosis, okay. So this will be a treatment part. Now let's move to summary table. Now what are the points that we need to know just before going to exam? First of all, it is the most common valvular congenital heart disease. Second, the nature of pulse will be a pulsus, parvus, et tardus. Third, there will be narrow split of the H2 heart sound that we heard on auscultation. There will be ejection systolic murmur, as a type of murmur that we will observe in case of aortic stenosis, and this ejection systolic murmur is also called as the crescendo decrescendo murmur, okay. And there will be a Gallaverdine phenomena that we will see in aortic stenosis. Actually, if this murmur is radiate to the axilla, it is called as the Gallaverdine phenomena, which is also seen in case of the aortic stenosis. And the investigation of choice for the aortic stenosis will be the CT scan, okay. So this is all about the aortic stenosis that you should know. Thank you so much, and please like, share and subscribe to channel. Thank you.